We are back here on the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. Clarice Jordan is our guest. She is my guest. I am thrilled to be able to have her share her story. I'm going to stop talking so she can continue because she has way more to say. So when you look back now over this period of time from 18 to 51, what has been the most meaningful for you? Is it the ability to reach other people and give them hope and give them strength?
Yes, definitely. Especially to newly diagnosed people. Because still, after 40 years, when people are newly diagnosed, they still think I'm dying. So, so they'll bring me in a room with a newly diagnosed person, and they'll say, Clarice, this is so-and-so, tell them a little bit about yourself. And they'll, and I'll say, well, I'm Clarice Jordan. I've been HIV positive for almost 40 years. And so they look at me and they'll say, what? I didn't realize I could live. And so I told them, I said, well, who said you can't? Mm-hmm. They said you had HIV. They didn't say that you couldn't live. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that gives them hope immediately. And then I, go into, if you take your medicine the way you're supposed to, yes, you got to make some mild adjustments. Mm-hmm. But if you make those adjustments, and the main thing that you do, you take your medicine, you can live I always say, as long as you want to live. And so that's my joy. Yeah. Especially speaking to newly diagnosed people, to let them know, because it goes into, I'm some kind of way, I'm dirty, and the stigma of it, and the stigma that you put on yourself as an HIV positive person. So then I have to tell them HIV has nothing to do with your integrity. It has nothing to do with your character. You're still the same person you were before you got HIV. Now you just know you have HIV. Mm-hmm. So now you have the chance to fix some of the things that you may have felt like you didn't do right. And so that's my joy. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose for being here. It's my ministry. For me, God took something that was supposed to be so ugly for me, and something that was supposed to take my life, and he turned it into something beautiful.
Wow. So I think the other thing two other things that strike me about your story is that certainly back in 87, 89, 90, no one expected people who were HIV positive to live this long. And so what challenges does that pose now when you see your doctors? And because now you got to deal with stuff that happens over 50.
Now I'm in that, that group of I am HIV positive and aging. So now you have to deal with some diabetes, and you have to deal with some arthritis, and things like that, and some high blood pressure, just things that happen with as you get older. Mm-hmm. So now I'm dealing with those things, along with still having to take the HIV medicines, the medicine, because I only take one of those. Okay. HIV medicine, but all of that goes along with HIV, being HIV positive and aging. But I tell people, listen, I'll take it. I'll take being HIV positive and aging any day, because I'm here.
Sure.
So.
And are there people who back in the day kept their distance from you, didn't want to were afraid to hug, and now they see you and they're like, well, I thought she had HIV.
Yes, but Miss Lynne, as you can tell, I am a person, I don't put up with stigma in any kind. And so the one thing that HIV taught me who my true friends were. Because my true friends, they never changed on me.
Wow.
To this very day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have one best friend, and her name is Andrea Moore.
Wow.
And she never changed on me.
Wow.
We were best friends from 6th grade, and we are still best friends. And she, it's almost like we don't have to talk every day, but when we talk, we never lose a beat. And there have been times where I haven't talked to her, and all of a sudden she'll call and she'll say, "What's wrong?" My nickname is Missy. Everybody calls me Missy.
Okay.
So she'll say, "Missy, you've been on my mind. What's wrong?" And at that time, I was in the hospital.
Wow.
And she said,
but that connection is there. That connection is there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So my friends are still my friends. But the ones that were never my friends, the ones that were scared to hug me, and and I still kind of deal with that a little bit today. But when they try it, I immediately put them in their place. In a very I try to do it in a very nice way.
Yeah. I bet that. I will be the judge of that whenever I get to meet you in person, for sure. So what's the one thing that you want people to walk away with? They've met you today. They see you today. What is it? What's the one thing you want them to walk away with today?
That HIV is not a death sentence. That anyone can get HIV. It has nothing to do with who we are, our character, our integrity. We deserve to be happy, not just happy, to live a joyful life. That's the main thing, and that's what I do. I'm not just happy, because happiness depends on how you feel at the time.
Right.
Being joyous, living a joyful life, you could have no money, but be joyful.
Absolutely.
And so I live a joyful life. And that's a lot of us with HIV. The only thing is that HIV is the disease that we have.
And you know what? This is now the second time that I've interviewed you. And I get so caught up in your story. You've got this book. You wrote a chapter in a book. We didn't get to that today either. So you're going to have to come back on the show. Deal?
Deal.
All right. We'll work that out. I will get in touch with you. We'll figure it out. And we're only going to talk about the book next time.
Okay.
All right. Clarice, thanks so much for sharing your story. You do live a joyful life, and joyfulness just oozes from you. And I'm glad we connected. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And I'll be back in just a minute with some closing. Don't go away. I cannot.